everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to the initiation of yet another. It came from the workbench. I think this is 54. This should be 54. This is definitively a line jumper. We are jumping the line. Is there other stuff here that should be started first? 100%. Does none of that matter? Yes, because a couple months ago I started trailing. I got my FMS FJ40, well, it's really an FMS FJ40 at this point, set up, and I'm having an absolute blast. Then fast forward about 5 weeks into that process, maybe a little more, and I was heading out to the Mentone Beach, to the lakes where I like to drive, and the wife said, oh, I'll come with you, you know, just to get my steps in. She gets her steps in. And she said, this looks kind of fun, I could do this. So, and then in a couple of weeks, we would outfit her with this vehicle. She drove a Cross Emo X2. She drove an Element Trail Runner. She drove a TRX4 F-150 High Trail. And she was like, this is fun. You should build me one of these. That's called jumping the line. That is the automatic precedence. My wife has, and I don't understand it completely, but she has an affinity for and a supernatural ability to detect whenever a G-Wagon is near. And luckily, if you'll remember back to a couple of years, discontinued a couple years ago, but Traxxas made a TRX4 G500 G63, I think is what they called it. They made that. You can still get the stuff. You can get the body kit, which is perhaps... whole bunch of bodies just fell down behind the wall there. You can get the body kit, which is perhaps more important than anything. So we have what we're working from. Big old G-Wagon. It's got all the trims. It's got the front and rear. It's got the little hat that it wears. It's got the mask, the decals, the body mount that we will definitely need. The big tall body mount for the back. It has that necessary stuff. TRX4 axles are a thing that I can kind of put together. It's not brand new, but, I mean, you see the link mounts. It's not brand new, but our handy stiff bristled brush and some pledge, they'll trick you. I think the G500 actually comes with the chrome covers. I used to have several of the chrome covers, and I would soak them in Purple Power until the chrome fell off. Front axle as well. I would have loved to have spent the money unnecessarily and bought some brand new black or silver, like aluminum link mounts. Brass link mounts on here, not for any sort of weight. Brass link mounts on here because you can't break them. I have broken a couple plastic panhard mounts a couple times. Easier to just throw brass on there. That might be the only brass that's going on the vehicle. I put in an order from Jenny's, good old Jenny's, Egg Harbor, New Jersey. These are from the TRX6 version, which luckily they had parts from the TRX6 because they do still make the G-Wagon in the TRX6. And as someone pointed out to me, after I had already ordered things, like the body and other parts, they were like, are you building her the 4 or the 6? And I was like, oh, I could have built the 6. I could have put together another axle. But we're building the 4. My wife will definitely appreciate the 4 more than she would the 6. Also, you're going to get a bit more battery life out of the 4 than the 6. And as mentioned, Jenny's had all of the takeoff bits from the G63 6x6, which is mechanically identical to the 4. They literally just put a longer rail and another axle on it. So, like, even if you buy, this will be going on, if this goes on today, a miracle, a true miracle will have occurred. Our good friends at GRC, makers of absolutely things you don't need but you obviously want. Scale interior kit designed by GRC Racing. This is the full interior for the G500, for the G-Wagon, and it fits either. Even says it right on the front. Fit for TRX6 model or TRX4 model. It's the same because they literally, like I said, they just put another axle at the back. So she will My wife isn't. I know that the 6-wheel G-Wagon is a thing that actually exists, and it is fully involved. And it's better than fully involved. It attaches to the chassis. So you can just take the body off normally and not have to worry about it, because we're going to run a camera in this as well, a Sony ASV-100. There'll be some here towards the back. We'll fabricate that bracket. It could happen today. I don't know. It'll depend on how fast this thing starts to go together. We have a variety of miscellaneous things in and out of bins. We've got one rail. There's the other rail. We've got takeoff TRX4 chassis rails. I have fenders. I have multitude of fenders. These are the fenders that came in the parts lot from Jenny's. These are the fronts. And I didn't know if I would need narrow fronts or wide fronts, narrow rears, wide rears. So I have both. We will sort out the fenders as we go, because it's going to run full fenders. We're doing trailing, and if my wife sees mud, she will go directly into it. Chassis brace for the rear. Front battery tray, okay? The little Velcro-y guy. Then the Bauhaus LCG tray for the middle. And you'd be like, why 2 battery trays? Again, as I said, this thing will crawl rocks sparingly. But it is a TRX4. So it will be absolutely capable to crawl rocks. It's going to be kind of heavy, because when I set it up for trailing configuration, we've got a 6200 3S, a midships, and a 2200 up front. So we're carrying about 8400 milliamps at any given time. The little bit of pre-prep that I did was getting the 2-speed attached. Amazon all-metal gearbox has not been opened. I really should open it, but it's not that difficult to remove this from the vehicle once it's put together, prior to putting in the interior. This mount doesn't matter. It's an aftermarket. I had to grind it a lot to get it to fit. This is aftermarket part meets aftermarket part, because again, Bauhaus skid, which I bought for the project when we assembled the Sport, Sandy the Sport. I was like, I'll put this in there. And then I was like, I don't think we're going to gain anything meaningful. But if we're going to build it into the vehicle, we might as well. This is an EcoPower 640. Not my first choice, but it is on hand and it is functional. And this was the 2-speed servo out of my TRX6 before I did the conversion operation on that. 45 2-spurt, running a 10-tooth pinion on an 1800 because it has the 2-speed. I'm really interested to see what we're going to be looking at for speed. 1800 on a 10-tooth. We can go up to like, I think a 17, 13, 14. We can go up probably 4 or 5 teeth if need be, because this is going to be a dedicated 3S rig. It's all set up. The part I did not have, so I fabricated out of ancient technologies, is I found, I don't even know what it was from. You can see the rust. It is, I believe it is standard threading. I just drilled this out and hogged it in there. But more importantly, it had an eyelet on the end. I ground that eyelet down. It would fit a 2mm fastener. So we've got a we've got a very homebrew linkage, but it works and it's set up. Oh, also these gearboxes, the all metal Amazon gearboxes have, can you see any of them? Yeah. Just metal shielded bearings. This should not go out where we go with these bearings in it. At least not the output bearings. We need rubber shielded in there. And I really need to cake the inside down with grease. These gearboxes are great. This is the 3rd or 4th one of these that I've bought, and they use a metal shift fork for the 2-speed. It actually shifts more smoothly than the stock gearbox. Also, a little bit of a drawback. We're going to figure out some sort of approach to it. Can you see it? Can you see it? It's pretty dark. We're going to blow it out with a bright light. Maybe if I hold the bright light back really far. Yeah. You see what those are? Teefs. That is the Bauhaus aspect. You can actually see right down in there. The stock skid. Ooh, I'm really rethinking the Bauhaus right now. That is an entryway. Maybe it's pretty shielded. What I might do is we'll cut a little block and glue it in right here, and then maybe drill a weep hole in the bottom. This is stuff that I ordinarily don't have to take into account, but here we are today taking it into account. Steering duties. Oh, okay. I bought this for another build, did not use it, so there we go. It's a silver and black theme, which I think is pretty fortunate. I think we're working with something of a silver and black theme. Look at that. Hey, nice. Steering duties handled by Reefs RC 444. That's TRX4 stuff. So we shouldn't have any problem with this hitting the chassis. We shouldn't have any problem with the length. We can dial this out a little bit. What we don't have are any of the links for a TRX4. This is a big old wheelbase. Probably they're going to call it 324, 328. We'll see. We'll get it lined up. We have so many tires. It's going to run a 475. We really want something. I don't want to put just regular Canyon trails on it. I don't know. Tires TBD. That's the one thing that we don't know. The shock springing can be absolutely dealt with. They came directly off of a TRX6, so it has all of the appropriate rod ends to bolt right onto the axles. Do I have anything else? Oh, yes. I have the factory, brand new 8820s, the factory bumpers, and I also bought a RC four-wheel drive. We'll see how it looks. Depending on how it looks with the front end, we'll go with that. There's like little chrome skid plate pieces that bolt onto the bottom of these. I could not find those anywhere. Those might have been relegated to the realm of unobtainium. I might be able to find them. I might be able to make them. If I get a good look at it, can cut some little pieces of aluminum, we can put something on there. We'll see how that goes. Also, again, Jenny's coming through clutch chassis sides with the full receiver box, with the seals and everything. Brand new. That's what we like to see. Radio Link RC4. She picked up cruise control like that. So she is an advocate for cruise control as much as I. I know that I'm missing something. We will also be trying our very best. There's the receiver. We will be trying our very best to stick to this bin, the full stainless, because at some point before we head out, I should probably change these 2.5s out as well. I have stainless for these. I should basically pull all of this black oxide hardware out and change it for stainless. Let's get some rails and fender. Let me dig up the rest of the fenders. I thought I set them aside, and I think what I did was I put them back in the bin. She said, ooh, we should get winches. That was why I spent the money on the bumper. This is a winch bumper. I don't know. If it sticks out all funny, I'm not going to go with it. I have no idea. I've built many a TRX4. I don't even know what number this one is in terms of TRX4s. How many times have I put a TRX4 chassis together? Many. What I want to do right now is get us at least to a slider, or at least to the point where the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move some stuff out of the way. We're going to get the chassis assembled, get the bumper mounts on, get the fenders, chassis, center chassis in place, get the body mounts on so we can set the body down, because we are in this event building to the body. I don't, like I said, in my Boxo links, if we go to Series for Straight Links, we might have the correct links. Maybe. But I don't have a manual. Maybe I'll Google that. see if there's an assembly manual. I don't believe, like Sport Kit, we had a manual for that. I would love to if I could just read out link lengths. I'm probably going to use Mias rod ends because let me do you a little thing here. So this little bin is full of Traxxas rod ends, and this little bin is full of Mias rod ends. Mias just directly cloned the Traxxas rod end, and I've been going through Mias links a lot. I have 500 Mias rod ends all told. This isn't all of them. This is all that'll fit in the drawer. So that is the goal. If we have to, here's the thing. If we can find all black links, great. If not, they're going to all be silver. I don't want to do half black, half silver. If the TRX, if those do turn out to be the correct length and we only have a couple, they're going to the lathe, they're getting their black oxide coating sanded off, and then they'll eventually get rusty. We hope to find all stainless. That's our hope. Let me get our workspace better. In my drawer of chassis rails, I have an odd number of TRX4 rails. Somewhere in this building, there's apparently one TRX4 rail. Right hand. The rails that I had sitting on the bench had apparently been used by me. One would think that I would remember, but you'd be crazy to think that. Had been used for something else. There were a bunch of holes drilled in it, like vertically, like to mount. I don't know, like holes through the tops of the rails. So I dug the bins, found a set slightly less worn, not significantly less worn, but slightly. And as always, if we can use a driver, we shall. I'm probably going to have to remove some screws a couple times because there's going to be parts to bolt on that I'm going to miss for any number of reasons. A TRX4 is not a remarkably difficult thing to assemble. Also, bonus of the EcoPower, they know you're putting it in a TRX4. Oh, yes. Is the reefs going to be our servo? Because that is the lead on a reefs. It's a foot. Is that a foot? Yeah, 11.5 on that. You get yourself an Amazon Blue case, and they know you're putting this in a TRX4. So that lead is 17 inches long, because when we get to the other side, it goes like that. So the wires have to come around and go into the back. Sometimes I flip it around and aim it forward if the wires will reach. If the wires will reach, the wires will reach. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop this in now. It will make it a little more difficult to get the drive shafts attached when we have to attach the drive shafts, but that is, can we do this? Didn't drop it. I don't know if this needs to be an 8 or a 10. 8, 100%. I like the Bauhaus battery tray. I don't tend to run full-size batteries. We run full-size batteries in 3 or 4 things here total. This is an excellent recipient for it because the stock tray puts the battery really quite high. Like the bottom of the tray is about here, you know, for clearance. And that tray does not really fit 3S packs. You have to remove the part that the little, there's one around here. I just saw it. Oh, I mean, I was digging through drawers. There's the little swivelly, the little handy swivelly arm. FR, RR, FL, RL. What do we need? LR? We need the triple one. That's the one we're missing, the triple high one, which I think can be substituted with, because we don't need the triple one. We're running a Fusion. We don't have a speed control. I don't know which one. No. So do y'all? Oh wait. I bet. Yeah, I was gonna say. I bet the Jenny's bag has got us. Yeah. FL has the little triple height one. We don't need the triple height of it, but there are things like that's how the chassis side attaches. There's nothing back there, so it goes into this little friend. If we can get him, there you go. Goes in just like that, and then usually the wires for the motor are run through there. You can also run the servo wire through it. You can use it for any number of things. Now I did notice the pipes. The pipes. It looks conspicuously like. See what I'm looking at? I believe it's that hole right there. And yep. Okay, so this was thinking ahead. Hiding behind the pipe right there is the screw to put your lower link in. So we don't put that screw in, and we definitely don't put this on until the links are sorted out. Otherwise, it's not. Suddenly, it's not happening. FR, RR. Of course, if it's not the last one you check, then you've checked too many. This is gonna be good. I like building a TRX4. It's well thought out. It's unchanged for all these years for a reason. We are simulating the G500 because we can't buy one. Would I have bought one? No. No, I would just do what we're doing right now. I mean, oh, I found in the drawer, you see an array of Fenders. These are the fronts that came in the box from Jenny's. I want to say they're 10s, but I think, yeah, we're going to go with 10s. They are apparently clipless now. Did they go clip, or have they just mono-spec'd the Fender? That I don't know. Somebody out there with the G500 6x, is it clipless? I have the older style, no clip, and I have the newer style with the hole. Part of me wants to put the holes at both ends just for uniformity. Oh. The body, as you saw, comes pre-drilled. It's pre-drilled. Like, how would you clipless back here? That would be an apparatus. Yeah, we got to stick to clips. But, again, as I said, the OCD part of me is like, well, if you're going to have the hole in the front fender, you got to put the hole in the back fender too. For no other reason than here we go. It's all about making sandwiches. Traxxas makes sandwiches. It's a little tricky in some early points to get things put together. The second side is generally much easier to assemble than the first side. Do we need an aluminum servo mount? No, not at all. The stock one is absolutely fine. But did we have one sealed in plastic? Yes. I think those could have been 12s. They both could have been 12s. Those could have been 12s. So what I'll do is I'll bolt the other side in, and then when everything's held together, I'll pull those 10s out and put 12s in. Or I'll forget. Either one is equally likely. We have a couple bags. We got a couple new parts. And it should be big drop in the front. Or is it big drop in the rear? I'm not going to put those on just yet. I'm not going to put those on just yet in the event that we have to remove them and flip them around. LR. So this one is nice and friendly. This screw goes into the bow house. which the Bauhaus is used. I have used it before. Hopefully, yeah, it just kind of free spins. But it'll hold. It'll hold. And the second goes into, there's always a little arrow. F. And I believe it notches right in, just like that. And then we'll go 12 again. It's been a while since I followed the rules. Those, we'll say, are 8s. I mean, if I needed instructions, it would be for one thing. It would be link lengths. And then I could just sit down quietly, bosh a bunch of links together, and then slap them on. But instead, we will get the thing where I go, and I'll be back with you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And then there'll be a blurry transition. And then you'll come back and I'll have a bunch of links. Because links, particularly if you don't know what goes where, is a deeply iterative process where you assemble and disassemble and assemble and disassemble. Is he going to Google it? Chances are high. I mean, it's not that hard to search. No wonder they're all falling off. This is a ball end. Well, here's the problem. One of those is a ball end and the other one isn't. So you got to like look really close at the end of it and go, oh yeah, that one's a ball end right there. Why are the screws always falling off the end of my driver? Well, because it's a ball end and doesn't hold them. But if you have a regular one, it just stays on there. That's my fault again. Would you kindly? That is a very new piece. And do you see the speed at which we TRX4 now? Yeah. We can, though, once I get the other side on, we can. XL5. I was like, what are those 2 holes for? We can get the body mounts on, and then we can see, is this happening? Okay, so that goes to the front, so we don't want to mess with that one. But this one we can go straight in, and I want to say we used a 12. I'm going to put a 12 in it. Drilling into this type of part, this type of nylon, with a screw that's too long, you will strip it out very, very quickly. Do not do as I do. I can feel when the resistance starts to build. And now we can get, did I get it? RR, yeah. We are in the business. Then we can get a rear fender on. We can get a couple screws through the front fender. Just throw it together. See if we can get around 15 minutes to throw it. It's dead. It's gone. Fell into the place from which nothing returns. This part is never particularly enjoyable because we're trying to build a sandwich out of you know those little water worms that when you squeeze them they shoot out of your hands. That's what it feels like with this process sometimes. Nothing wants to line up. It's all blind. You have to put the battery tray in or you can't get it in. Come on. Come on. It is a rewarding feeling when it goes, I'll tell you. Rear fender with the hole. I'm going to question that. I'm going to question that the whole time. Should we have gone with the no hole? In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's really going to matter. Better bite on that one. That one wasn't quite as wallowed or hollowed. springing will be an interesting one. I don't want to get into the springs until the whole interior is installed, until we have a better idea of the RTR weight. Okay, now where does the exhaust pipe bolt on this side? Same spot? Because that's the front upper. There to, yeah, okay. So don't put that in. Don't put that part in either. Front, right front. We learned from last. Hey, guys, 12s. I said 12s. It's 12s. Could have been 14s, maybe. Could have maybe been. I will have to find. Yeah, 12s are perfect. We're going to do it right now. Do it right now. Before... Almost went to that. I would have been able to find that. That wouldn't have gone to the place of no return because it's pretty big. Getting geometry is not going to be a problem. We're using all stock Traxxas business. This will be a TRX4 G500, whatever letters, 63. Yes. Lowers, uppers. Okay, I didn't have to worry about that screw. I worried about that being too long. That's way up in there. This one could be longer. That one can be longer. I like when they come down and they're super flush, like that. I kind of change the fast. Oh, gotta change those out. Okay. Knock it off. Come on. Relax. Body mounts. Or body mount mounts. However you like. Front one has to go that way, otherwise the servo doesn't fit. And I think the rear goes like that. I'm not sure. 18? Seem good? I bet you it's a 20. Traxxas loves M3 by 20. This might as well be made out of grit. That's 3. Keep counting. 4, 5. I think this screw is cursed. Yeah, it's a 20. I've got a couple 20s. We might run out of M3 by 20s before we're done. Yeah, it's a 20, 100%. I want to say the rear mount goes on this direction. Because of the way that the shock mounts go, I don't think it will fit on the other way. I think they both face the back. I know the front is correct, because if you flip that around the other way, you can't put a servo in. So I'm banking on that. I should change those screws out too. Oh, yes. When I was looking for pieces in one of the bins, I happened to find a little collection of Amazon 2.5 button heads. We've got 2.5 by 10s, 20 of them. I've definitely used some of these. There's not the full amount in there. I might. There's so many screws in a Traxxas portal box. I am unsure as to whether or not I will have enough to replace. So we need. There's 13 screws per portal box plus the top and bottom. So 15, 30, there's 60 screws total that need to be replaced on there, plus 4, 8. 38 per axle. I'm not a guy that likes to spend a lot of money. I'm not a guy that likes to spend money when I have to. It's wants over needs. TRX 4 SS screw kit. $30. Oh, that one's 40. Yeah, they're all about $40. 30 to $40. Absolute Hobbies has got the RC screws set for $30. But then you're like, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm on Google right now. Then you're like, oh, I'm gonna save like $7-8 and have to wait. Oh, that's how they get you. That is how they get you. the Traxxas branded TRA 8298 stainless steel hardware kit. Traxxas sold by Amazon, shipping overnight, is $37. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Like, I could get some sort of a universal kit, right? Bunch of screws in a thing. Probably have enough screws in it to do it. Save money. I don't like buying model-specific screw kits. I also don't like stripping out cheap screws. Am I going to spend... Well, then here's what happens. Then my brain is like, that's for your wife, isn't it? And I'm like, dang it! You are here present. We click that button, and we say tomorrow, yes, and we place order. That's how that works. And once this is assembled, I will not worry about replacing any of these screws that are already in. Those are... My stainless is sourced almost exclusively from McMaster Car. A McMaster order would take a couple days to get here, and I would have to order bags of 100. Not only that, they don't stock a lot of, like, this stuff. 2.5 button head in stainless, you're either not going to find it on McMaster or they're going to be really expensive. So for this, we're just going to... we're going to bite that proverbial bullet. Jenny's bag, you might have to help us again. I know I have a rear body mount, but do I have a front? You just have to dig into the right bins. I have the... Same spacing. I have the clipped kind with the more rise, and I have the super flat one. It's probably going to use this one, because I don't think their spacing on fore to aft is any different. Now, the rear body mount is still a question. Moment of truth approaching rapidly. Well, already ready. I realize we've got some compatriots over there that will really help us set the height, which are these fellas. Those holes all go all the way through? No. And as they do not go all the way through, we're going to go with 8s. Because I don't like the little bulge when you put a screw in that's too long. That's one. Oof. We're not going to get an opportunity to say 330 millimeter wheelbase other than to say that this vehicle will be pretty close to a 330 millimeter wheelbase. It's a shame that due to the spacing of the fenders on the existing body, we cannot land precisely on a 330 millimeter wheelbase. But, you know, you could take a shot every time I drop a handful of screws, which is happening so much. She was like, will it be ready for the next time we go out trailing? I was like, ma'am, come on now. This is a TRX4. I'll get some of it wrong, but I could put a TRX4 together in my sleep. We've built one from parts bins and Jenny's bags, and it's we're past the halfway point. We've got the full chassis already. Links are gonna take me a minute. Okay, yes. Perfection. I think it's all the way up. I gotta dig through the body mounts bin to find... Okay. Over. One more hole up in the front. So that is 2 holes exposed in the front, and in the rear, it looks like 1 hole exposed in the rear. Although, we're just going off sliders. Okay, right there. Looks about right. It looks like just 1 hole exposed. So, the beauty of the Traxxas body mount is you dig through your bin get your fingies, because I can't reach them. You find the little, there we are. You get these little guys. That's a Stampede one. That's Phillips head. Let's not use the Phillips head unless we absolutely have to. If I can only find the black oxide ones, that's fine. All we need is 2 more. There's 2. Okay, now we get a competition because there's 1 silver one, 2 silver ones. Nope, black oxide wins the day because there's 3 and it's gone. 4. Black oxide wins the day. Okay. 1 hole from the bottom. They just fall right back down. So I think it's right there. We can adjust accordingly. The beauty of the little sliding screw pins. I like these. And then in the front, it looked like it was 2 holes. We'll guess right there. Should set down nice. No, it is definitely higher for the rear. I think it's all the way up. Is it all the way to the bottom hole? I also, every time I put this in, I had the rear body mount bolted in at an angle. So the body kept sitting all weird. Okay, now, the way that's sitting, is it just the length? Yep. Yeah, body mount, that rear body mount is straight up and down. So that's where that goes. Fender's got a little overlappy. Front fender looks good. Spacing on the, oh, yeah, we're definitely up 1 hole there. Building to a body is kind of the standard here. It's either that or buy the thing with the body that you want, which you can't buy anymore, so we do what we do. That is a big, long body mount. There we go. There we go, G-Wagon. Okay. So it is low drop front, big drop rear? Well, where's the bumper? Because we can't, well, we know we're at the height. Oh, I don't think these bumpers use mounts. Another unbagging. Is that a triple unbagging? We might have triple unbagged. I think these bumpers, yeah, they do not unbag. They go on like, oh, there's definitely more to the bumpers. There's a whole chrome piece for the rear, or does it go under? We're into new territory for me. I've built myself, Governor, some TRX4s, but I've never used TRA 8820s. I'm curious. I'm intrigued. I'm on board. I'm here for the journey that we're undertaking. I'm now starting to think that the rear bumper goes inside the body and definitely has some sort of bolty-on piece underneath. More 8s. We're going to have a lot of screws left over in that stainless kit. That's okay. All hardware gets used eventually. A TRX4 is really surprisingly light for how much is already involved. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. So there is a mount, apparently some kind of taillight, mounts directly to the bumper. You see those little guys? I don't know. A lot of it's we are building a mystery. I was so in it. Lord knows. Another one gone. Lord knows when that cut off. I hit the record limit on that. This will be, we're getting into the extended episode stuff. I was not paying attention to the camera at all. Come along with me as we do what I would do were you not here with me. Just, the music would be really loud right now. I would just be putting parts together, just having a great time. I mean, a TRX-4 is the least anxiety generating of any build you can do. They just go together. We're links away from not just a roller. I mean, I got to put a servo in, but like, we can get this running. It won't have the interior. I get the feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion that GRC, yep. Okay. Yeah, see, there's a little chromey guy that goes right down here. I either gonna find that or I just nip these off, I guess. You know what we'll do? We're moving. You know what we're moving? Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, let's go ahead and put these in. Because otherwise, one of them's gonna fall out and then I'm gonna have to go through the whole rigmarole again. Nice, nice. I'm kind of curious. We're gonna unbag another one. So, oh, that looks pretty good. I don't know now. They give you a little. Is it 3D printed? Molded? Looks very Bauhaus. If that's 3D printed, it's the same exact way Bauhaus does theirs. Okay, I gotta see what it looks like. I think this is sight unseen and knowing unknown. I think if you put a winch on your G-Wagon, the winch is behind the bumper. Ooh, that's nice. Only the fair lead out the front. I like that. It didn't come with a fair lead. I have plenty. Not worried about it. I'm more on board with the rear bumper than I am with the front. This just slides in like this. It's a good fitment. It was on sale. I will I will defend myself. This bumper was on sale. I'm not an expensive bumper guy. I'm not much of a buy a bumper guy, as a matter of fact. I will either use whatever the OE is, you know, some like Phoenix, stock Phoenix bumpers, something like that, or I'll fire up the old welder, pretend I know how to weld, and I'll build something. This one just looked nice. And Amazon winches are pretty inexpensive. You can get a winch up there. I would then have to upgrade her radio. Well, you know, could be a cosmetic winch. That fit is good, but it doesn't quite have the solidity. Question marks appear and float around my head in a flurry. How do I feel about that? Oh, that's good though. Come on. Oh, it's so understated. It's just clean. I like that. What I will likely do is, as much as I like their little 3D printed piece, I will probably cut myself a big bar of aluminum and put it on there, and drilled and tapped so that I can put like 16 millimeter long screws in there, so that bumper effectively becomes a bumper. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. We're gonna be the G unit. Get in there. Get in there. Oh, it's pretty nice. It has all the cladding. It's going to be basically British racing green is what we're going to go with. I'm surprised that they do the narrows. It's pretty close. Most of the Traxxas bodies get pretty close on the fender to the body. There's still that gap. I know there's a solution for that. Like people, there's like Fender extensions. Am I remembering that correctly? I don't know. That might be my mind drawing in things that aren't real. So, now what we have to do is, we have to remember to stop the cameras before we run out of recording time, which is something we've already done. We have to make all the links. You'll notice there isn't even a tie rod on the steer axle. I'm going to cop out again. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the equivalent of RTFM, and I'm going to go on the internet, and I'm going to hope against hope that Traxxas, it might have to go into some form of investigative journalism in which I go to Traxxas, I find the exploded view of the G500. It will have a part number for the rear links. I cross-reference that part number. It could take a little while until I find that. That's what I'm going to do. We'll go through a brief transition, and before you will be the 4 links for the rear, the 3 links plus panhard for the front. And we will hope against hope that, that the link attached to the servo will work. It should. This is a takeoff from a TRX4 non-high trail. And then we'll hope even further that the shock springing is at least close. They're whites, which means they might be a little soft. We can definitely go up rate. I have all of the firmer rates. What I don't have are links. Bear with me for one brief transition as we consult the Googles. To be fair, it's going okay. Did I have all TRX4 links? No. Did I embrace her spirit and let that go? Real fast. As soon as I found 4 links that would fit the rear, on they went. Also, I don't know if I've ever paid attention to this, but on this wheelbase, and I built it off of a manual. I believe it's the Scale and Trail manual. I built it off the Scale and Trail manual, and it looks like just eyeballing it up, it looks like we have the correct front. Now, all the models, it's the same front end, so we know we're good here. There's all sorts of different layouts for the rear end. So, fingers heavily crossed. I think it's going to fit. After going through the arduous process of getting the reefs on there, see how the screw heads barely overlap? See the light coming through? Reef servos are about 2.5 millimeters narrower at the mounting than other servos. But I had it set aside. So with the shorter lead, we can't make it all the way around. So what I do is usually I just flip this around. It would hit the body. There's not enough room. But we've got our big roll of Wotec. That is our clear mounting tape of choice. Does it say Wotec on this one? Yeah. Wotec double-sided tape. It's all I use. And because we're not putting in a 2-speed, we can slap this bad dog down way over on the inside right there. That's not going to interfere with anything. And I wasn't saying that facetiously at all. I literally mean that's not going to interfere with anything. So I'm not worried about getting the wires tucked. I'm not worried about running this thing today. I have genuinely already gotten farther than I would have anticipated. I really mean that. I know it's a TRX4. I know I've built several in the past, but there's always something, and the something didn't arrive today. It kind of went together. We're gonna get to a roller. I've got more. Route this like this. Yeah, that EcoPower's got plenty enough cable. We'll leave a little more slack on it like that. I've got plenty enough more to do. You'll remember I ordered the hardware kit, so I got that. Got to figure out a place to mount the power switch such that it can be accessed from outside of the vehicle I don't have to figure that out right now. I'll figure it out later. Just kind of wanted to get the wires snugged in a little. Do we punish ourselves and put the front end on first? Of course. Of course. Let's see if we can. Susan! Susan will help us out here. Get the front. Hey! Nice. Pretty good. All right. Easiest route is probably just make sure that nothing is clanging off of anything else. Put the front lowers in. This thing's going to stand up on its own 4 feet, on its own legs. Traxxas also specs out a lot of stuff like, we want M3x15. I don't really have M3x15s. When you buy them, they're M3x16s. So we're hoping. Also, upper shock mounts are M3x23, which is a Traxxas favorite. I have 24s and 25s. In alloy, I've got 23s, but I don't have them in this. Did I not? Okay, if you fight for it for that long, you grab a caliper and you make sure it's a 7. Yeah, that's a 7. It just doesn't want to go. Can never remember my desired order for connecting these pieces. Okay, start with the lowers. Then we're going to do panhard. Then we're going to do front upper. Then we're going to do the shocks. Then we're going to move to the back. You heard it, right? You heard them all hit the floor. Those are the ones I need to mount the shocks, so we have to find those whether I want to or not. Let's hope this clears. There we go. Things are, as I said, things are going pretty, all things considered, things are going pretty well. Yes, you want to get the servo attached because it gets hidden by stuff. Once the front upper is on, you can't really get to this screw very easily. I did center the horn on the servo. Took care of that. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's like things stacked on top of things. There we go. Let it go. All right. We've got shocks in front upper, front to upper, front to... Okay. Let's hope that that falling through is not negatively impactful. No, we're good. We're good. The manual was really... There's no 22s left. The mental checklist continues as we hope. That's a 25. We can't put that in there. That's a 16. How's it? What's this? That's a 20. It's... No. Can we come out the other? We can. We're going to go the 25 because I almost put it together without the pipe. We got to have the pipe. Now, the pipe is... Oh no, the pipe goes there. Oh, okay. Back to the 20. I don't have the manual for this. I didn't see any option. The only build manual that I could find was just Scale and Trail, which is wild because that one comes like pre-assembled. There is definitely a puzzle. There is a puzzle-like ordering to the TRX-4 where certain parts go in in a certain order. Yeah, that needs to be longer. What's our pinion angle look like? Okay. No, it's not terrible. It's not the worst I've seen. We're going on stock. These are a bear to get in. The little bow tie hollow balls. Oh, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Just, yeah. We got 1 out of 4. I'll take it. If the others fight me, they fight me. What did we do? What have we done? What hath we wrought? We've built a TRX-4. Come on. Be as nice as the one on the other side. I have banana hands. I can't fit my hands inside the shock towers. Ooh, the tip of the stub axle stabbing me right in the palm. That feels great. Yeah, got lucky on the... Oh, don't move. Ugh. All I need is one more hand. One more hand. Don't... Ah. Ah. So lucky. Feel so lucky. It's a strange thing. You're going along, and it doesn't feel all that hurly-burly. And then you slap an axle on there, and you're like, okay. Okay, nothing's hitting nothing. We look... Let's see, how's this look? This is not bad. It's not bad. We're pretty good. It's just, I know, it's just a lot of black there. There's the shocks standing up perfectly straight as they do in the stock setup. I would say front to upper could be, well, that's the thing. We have a perfect Panhard drag link. I think that's probably just how they run it. I would clock that a little bit more. It would take out some, we're just going to run it like that. It would take out some caster. It's compromise. It's all compromise. Now I think, let me go back to my page in the manual, because did I even get to the rear axle installation? No, just how to build the links. 22s for the shocks, 25s for the uppers. That's nice. I have that. I have plenty of that. On this, I think I will do uppers. We'll do uppers first. Also, because the TRX-4, don't you do this, because the TRX-4 only comes in RTR configuration now, and you know, for years, the only kit in crawlers was the sport kit. I loved me a sport kit. I love me a sport kit. So I don't think I have ever assembled, like we kitified a TRX-4 here and built the regular wheelbase TRX-4, which is something I don't know if I've ever done before. Have I ever done this before? That looks too short. That looks too short. What do we say? 324? I can't tell until I have the links on. I did it backwards. I did it wrong. No, I didn't. Oh. I felt like I was doing it wrong. Oh, just let this wheelbase be right. I had to make the rear links 3 times. I got ones that looked like they were right. Attempted to assemble them, and they were a full 12 millimeters too long. Okay, maybe the axle was just shimmied way over because we only had one link in. I know that is hoping against hope, but I would really like to not make these links again. I genuinely don't think that it's asking too much for these links to be correct. And we won't know until we attach everything. It's too short. It's too short. No, it can't be. It can't be. I can't tell. I genuinely can't tell. We are going to go with two. It doesn't matter how long these are. These can pop out the back. We're going to go with a hole that is really going to stiffen this up. We're basically going to run straight up and down in the back because I like the second hole, one spaced out from the front, but that hole is famously directly behind the screw for the rock light. So you have to take the rock light cover off. And if you have a rock light and your shock is mounted there, you have to take your rock light off. I mean, they can't think of everything. It looks about, I don't know why, but it looks about 5 millimeters too short. I'm going to slap wheels on it anyway. It's too short. I feel so negative right now. Yeah, 313. Remember what I said? I have them. I have them. They're right on top. I built them, and they didn't match the manual. I should have gone with my gut. There they are. Those are the rear link. No. 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 I'm going to take those links apart. I'm going to do it the worst way possible. I'll give you a little simulated moment here. I was so confident that they were correct, I put lock nuts on them like a psychopath. So what we do, this is what you're not going to see. This is what I'm going to do 4 times. You get the end out. Take the end off, take the driver off, clamp that on, dowel the rod out. It goes in the bin. We need the shorter of the two because the lower links are shorter for whatever reason. We go like that. You can feel it kind of bottom out a little. We'll put the driver tool back on. We'll go like this. This is on the fly because we don't want to take the whole thing apart again. Right when you feel resistance, you let off, and back to the driver. Do you see now why I screw things in by hand as sparingly as possible? And that goes in. That's right there. We do that 3 more times. I'm going to tell you right now, it is too late in the day to ghost ride. We're not getting on the rocks. I still have no drive shafts. I extended it out. The pinion angle looks perfect. The rear end looks great. It is 320 millimeters exactly. I don't know what I've done. But I can tell you this. We've built a TRX4 and it looks like there's going to be plenty of room. Let me put clips on this so it doesn't fall off. It looks like there's going to be plenty of room for the camera. It looks like the interior is going to go in with a modest amount of drama because it does not appear that that interior will clear that receiver box regardless of the position. I did not look into the little instruction manual to confirm. Battery wires, part A, part B. They still show it sitting there. But there's an X next to it. Oh no. Change antenna mount position. Install to rear seat. Remove the LED lighting module if you already have it installed, and then you put it on over the floor. The box looks like it's pretty much in the exact same spot I've got it. I might just have to unstick it and move it around because the portion of the floor... That's not that side, it's this side. The portion of the floor... Is that the right side? Yeah. It just needs scooched forward. I might have to put a rustler box in it. That would be fine as well. Do I have one? Tentatively I have one. So, centered. Looks really centered to me. I don't know. Is this thing 320 millimeter wheelbase? Maybe. Put the pipes on. It's all about the pipes, is it not? It's all about the pipes. I'm liking the front bumper. And for, at the very least, probably for its first trail run, certainly for if the first run of this, we can't do that. I'm going to have to find a point in a day that we can run this. I cannot take it out on the trail. We're going to do a sneaky peeky. I can't take it out on the trail never having run it. It has to have either a ghost ride. Oh, I really got to get it into paint. Are we gonna forego the ghost ride and just go straight to first run? It's not our MO, you know? I want you to tell me. We're going to unveil here in about a minute where we're sitting right now, and I want you to tell me that this isn't G-Wagon. Mind you, British Racing Green is about the color. I can't remember what I bought. I bought either Spastics or Tamiya, or there's a can of Traxxas over there. It might be Traxxas. I just know that she wanted the deep green because I said, what color are you thinking? And she was like, I don't know, maybe the deep green. Try to tell me that this wheel tire is not Maximum G-Wagon. It is sitting high to me, and this is on whites, and it isn't. It's the cutouts in the fenders. We are perfectly Lynx level down at the bottom, which means we'll probably actually have to go up a rate once you add in a 6200 in the back, a 2200 in the front. The rest of the gubbins, yeah, the front is actually almost all the way down. Oh, please, either clears or blues. Let me run one of those. Look at these big dogs. Now, these are plus 10 wheels. They're a little wide. I could actually see some, I mean, come on. It's got that Emirati flavor, right? I could see somebody stancing their thing out that far. Do I have narrow hubs? No. Do I have scale hubs? Multiple different styles of scale. It's getting some scale hubs for sure. Do I have like 6 millimeter pancakes? Maybe on a set of wheels. Maybe. I will have to dig through the wheel drawers and see what we've got. These are 9s. Honestly, I think 6s would be just perfect. It's because they're minus 10 wheels, but would we want it any other way than the minus? Look at those. We got far. For a session, this is far. As I said, a TRX4 is not remarkably difficult to build. There are two, count them, 2 silver links. And I thought it would bother me. And it kind of doesn't. I'm kind of okay with it. I have multiple drawers full of TRX4 drive shafts, so it will be no problem. How do we roll? I know we're not turning the gearbox, but I think we're gonna be, guys, gals, everything's gonna be all right. Oh, this is the camera. These are what we run inboard. They're discontinued now, Sony ASV100s. Luckily, Sony has been using the same battery protocol for like at least a decade, so you can buy the batteries. And this, particularly compared to a GoPro, absolutely sips. Just just little of the Pixies. 1 full hour of recording on this, we'll use 1 bar on the battery. And probably I'll make a little offset plate that'll come off that center mount. We want to get it up to where it's looking right out through the windshield like that. Probably be about that high, mounted right up in the middle. We'll get it. I've got the preview camera, so I can preview it before I finalize my mount. We'll get that guy knocked in there. We'll get the body knocked together. We'll get some drive shafts knocked on it. I mean, I did just put these axles together. They should be reasonably quiet. The 2.2s on the Traxxas RTs give you that real low pro vibe. I feel like these are going to be the guys. I feel like these are going to be the guys. Out on the trails, they should last dang near an eternity. What they are fitted with, the foams that come in the RTs, if you aren't unaware, are these guys right here, and they are super, super soft from the TRX-6 because they're so close together. They're like right next to each other. So they have to go super soft. So what I did was I just took the inner from a 2.2 Canyon trail, and it's Traxxas, wouldn't you know? So they fit perfectly in these. Now, they are foam, so they won't like what's probably going to happen to them, but they don't need to last very long because we will get a set of Fimonda, and what I call non-Enjoras, the silicones. I will cut out the inner rib and then just shove a 2.2 ring in there, and then we got perfect silicone. Silicone is the trail choice in my mind. I can't see a reason to specifically run anything else. Drive shafts, cleanup, we'll get it running. I will do my very best to get this thing out for something approaching a ghost ride just to see how it does. But I need to get on the interior. Time draws nigh. I was supposed to be in the editing suite 2 hours ago as of the recording of this. Look at that. It's not bad on the articulation. She had a really good time. She had a really good time driving the F-150. This is going to be pretty much a very similar experience. That is a good looking vehicle. Sometimes, and by sometimes I mean basically every day, I do not understand why Traxxas discontinues what they discontinue and why they keep building what they keep building. I don't get it. I like this. I love the look of this. It's going to look great once it's painted a nice either metallic or matte green on the inside. This is hopefully pretty close to completion. I gotta move that or replace it. We'll see what happens. It doesn't look like it's going to interfere with the servo or with the Bauhaus, which is great. Now, the only question is, it has a little centerpiece. It has like a little battery trimmer. So this is this side, like this. So it basically sits like that, roughly like that. And this sits roughly like this, but it won't sit down because the receiver box is too far back. Yeah, it would fit if it was mounted conventionally. So it is designed for the conventional mounting. And then it has a little trim panel, and you can see there's little notches. And it goes in and then slide. No, it goes in and then slide locks like that. And there's like a dash piece, part of the dash. The center console covers, I want to say like that. I want to get this piece in. If I have to change out the tray, I mean, I guess I will, but it won't fit a 3S. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do when it comes to that. Will this fit this 3S? No. We're going to have to move that bracket. We're going to have to move that bracket back. We've got, oh! There's a Bauhaus specific piece shaped like a U. I've got to find that. You know what I'm saying? We have enough. I've got to figure out how to get that battery in. If I can't run the centerpiece, that's fine. I want to get the interior with the seats at least. Guys, we may have gone too far on day one. I am frazzled. We got there. we got there. It's ready to sit up on a block. It is ready for me to complete the things that need completed. The wife's G-Wagon is, let's call it 74% complete. I do indeed hope that you come back to see the rest of this process, to see us head out on the trails. It's the best thing ever. If nobody watched the trailing videos, I would make them anyway. It's one of the best parts of my week. I'm working. Here's the whole purpose of the channel. I love a Wheelin' Wednesday. I love trailing with the wife. I love doing a Friday live stream. I love building rigs. I love giving rigs away. We're going to get to a point where every day is just the best day. I mean, what more could one ask for? So y'all come on back, see how this progresses, see how the G-Wagon ends up on the course, on the rocks, and on the trails. And I hope that in between now and when we meet again, you want to all do your very best to give a good one, everybody. We will see you again here from the canyon with whatever we're building on that day.